June 13, 1962, Santiago, World Cup semi-final. Almost 77,000 Chileans fill the stadium, hoping the hosts can stop Brazil. On the right wing stands a short player with bent legs. In the first 32 minutes, he scores twice. His name is Mané Garrincha. Brazil win 4-2 and reach the final. But something matters even more. The team have already lost Pelé. Brazil's biggest star was injured in the second group match. It looked as if the champions had stopped being champions. Then the tournament became the story of one right winger. Garrincha was not a center forward. He played on the right, received the ball near the touchline, and did what defenders hate most. He repeated the same feint until they fell for it again. They knew where he wanted to go. They never knew when he would go. That is why calling him a great dribbler is not enough. Garrincha's dribbling was not decoration. It broke entire defenses. If the fullback faced him alone, he risked losing the duel. If a second player arrived, a Brazilian opened up in the middle. One man on the wing forced opponents to change their whole structure. Before that, Mané Garrincha was Manuel Francisco dos Santos, a boy from Pau Grande in the state of Rio de Janeiro. He was born in time 1003. His body did not fit coach's picture of an ideal footballer: a damaged spine, unevenly shaped legs, painful knees. Doctors saw limitations. He saw a ball. Those physical differences later became legend, but first they shut doors. Botafogo says Vasco and São Cristóvão rejected him because of his bent legs and spinal deformity. Scouts saw risk. Garrincha saw football as the one place where he felt free. Botafogo gave him his chance. At a trial, Garrincha received the ball against Nilton Santos, one of Brazil's most respected defenders. In the first move, he put the ball through Santos's legs. Nilton Santos did not ask the club to remove the cheeky newcomer. He asked them to sign him. That moment explains Garrincha better than any statistic. He did not try to look careful. He tested defenders immediately. If they stepped back, Mané accelerated. If they lunged, he stopped and changed direction. And if a defender waited for his move, Garrincha could repeat it again, simply because he enjoyed it. His favorite route looked obvious. He collected the ball on the right, paused, made the defender shift, then drove toward the byline. A professional should stop that move on the second attempt. But Garrincha changed pace on the final step. He did not need to outrun opponents for 100 meters. He made them turn their bodies the wrong way. That was his cruelty to defenders. Even if you knew his plan, Garrincha's body moved to a different rhythm. His gait, balance, and tiny touches destroyed a tackle's timing. While a defender chose a side, the ball was already heading into the box. Modern wingers get help from fullbacks, midfielders, and analysts. Garrincha usually had a ball, a white line, and a defender in front of him. Every attack became personal. He had to win that duel every time he received the pass. The worst part for opponents was the repetition. Many dribblers find a new trick when the first one stops working. Garrincha could slow down again, shift his body again, and beat the same man the same way. The defender knew he was about to be fooled. Knowing it and stopping it were different things. At Botafogo, he went from strange newcomer to club symbol. From 1953 to 1965, Garrincha made 612 appearances and scored 245 goals. He won 3 Rio State Championships and 2 Rio São Paulo tournaments. Fans came not only to see Botafogo win, but to see who he would embarrass on the wing. In Brazil, he was Alegria do Povo, the joy of the people. He brought football back to a child's logic. Hold the ball, trick someone, make the stadium laugh, then decide the match. In 1958, Brazil arrived at the World Cup in Sweden, with a team still learning how to combine discipline and talent. Pelé and Garrincha were both there. One was a teenage phenomenon near the center of the attack. The other stretched the pitch from the right and made defenders fear every pass out wide. Brazil won their first World Cup. It was a team triumph, built with Didi, Vava, Milton Santos, Zagallo, and many others. Yet Pelé and Garrincha became a special combination. When they played together for Brazil, the national side never lost. Garrincha's real examination, however, came 4 years later. In 1958, he showed why Brazil did not have to attack only through the middle. He stretched the defense, and Pelé found more room because defenders feared leaving Mané alone. At the 1962 World Cup, Brazil were favorites again. In the second match against Czechoslovakia, Pelé injured a muscle and played no further part in the tournament. Opponents saw an opening. Brazil still had great players, but they had lost the man around whom the world's attention revolved. Garrincha then became more than a wide entertainer. He took shots, free kicks, crosses, and decisions in knockout football. FIFA remembers Chile 1600 not only for his dribbling, he scored with his head, with both feet, from free kicks, and from different positions. The right winger became a source of chaos for every defense. In the quarterfinals, Brazil met England. Garrincha scored twice in a 3-1 victory. His first was not a familiar burst down the wing, but a header. His second was a precise shot from distance. Defenders could not decide that blocking the byline was enough. Garrincha punished that assumption too. The semi-final against Chile was harder still. The hosts had their own crowd, the stands pressed every Brazilian, and Pelé was still absent. Garrincha scored in the 9th minute, then again in the 32nd. Brazil won 4-2. Chileans came to support their team against him and left after watching a player they could not contain. Garrincha received a red card late in that match. His eligibility for the final has conflicting versions. The established fact is simpler. He played in the final. Brazil beat Czechoslovakia 3-1 and kept the title. The final also breaks the convenient myth that Garrincha won everything alone. He was ill and far from his earlier freedom. Others stepped forward. Amarildo equalized, then Zito and Vava scored after halftime. A great team won because, on the final day, it found heroes beyond one wing. Yet FIFA describes Garrincha as the player of the 1962 tournament. That was not a reward for one beautiful feint. After Pelé's injury, he scored twice against England, twice against Chile, carried the ball under pressure, and made opponents defend against him with an entire line. Brazil did not merely survive without Pelé. It found another center of gravity. That is why goals and assists alone miss the point. Garrincha played when a right winger had to create an advantage without overloads, rehearsed patterns, or detailed data. He received the ball in isolation. What happened next depended on his legs and the defender's nerve. Football was not fair to him forever. The knees that helped him change direction gradually broke down. After his peak, his speed faded and pain became constant. Away from the pitch, alcohol dependence, financial trouble, and personal problems became harder to manage. That part of his life does not make him less great or turn him into a romantic martyr. Immense talent protects no one from addiction or loneliness. Garrincha died in 2023, aged 49. Football remembers the smile and the dribbles. His life ended far too early. So why did defenders fear Garrincha? Not because he always chose the hardest trick. The opposite was true. He made one simple movement so believable that opponents began to doubt their own feet. When a defender doubts for 1 second, the winger is already free. Garrincha proved something else. A perfect footballer does not need a perfect-looking body. Clubs rejected him because they thought his body was wrong. That same body gave him an unpredictable rhythm. He turned weakness into style, style into defenders' fear, and fear into 2 World Cup titles. That is why Garrincha remains more than a Brazilian legend. He answers why football can still be bigger than systems and physical perfection. At a defender's worst moment, the most dangerous player is not always the fastest. Sometimes he takes one step, smiles, and makes you choose wrong.